We always like to think of ourselves as people that can last forever, you know? If the need arises, you know, you could go a couple of rounds, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes. However, very often StarCraft 2 games actually end up much, much quicker. And that is completely okay. Just because the duration isn't very long doesn't mean that the pleasure can't be intense. And in order to prove that, today I have 10 games from the Wardy Team League, which are extraordinarily short. I don't know how long they're gonna last in total. I'm sure it will be in the title, but it's going to be 10 of some of the shortest high-level professional StarCraft 2 games of the past month or so. So sit back, relax, open a can of beer or alcohol-free beer or grape juice, if that is something that you prefer. And then we'll join here together to see what the hell is going on in these games for them to be so damn short. Starting off with Nikoract versus Liquid Mana. Terran versus Protoss on Winter Madness. And Winter Madness often does get pretty freaking crazy. And I'm gonna make a prediction because I am well familiar with Nikoract. Nikoract is a player that loves his Triple Reaper 2 Hellion opener. He is the Triple Reaper 2 Hellion King. Some people even call him. I call him that. I am the only person that calls him that. No one else does, but still, I am some people, and thus he often gets called the 3 Reaper 2 Hellion King. He often kills people with it as well. That's not, however, what's happening here, apparently. We're going to go for, I think, a Cyclone drop with 4 Marines. I really thought that this game was going to be a 3 Reaper 2 Hellion killing 18 workers. Now I'm not sure what this is going to be. Could still be a tank as well, by the way. Fast tank attack. Oh no, it's going to be a Cyclone. Cyclone to kick things off with. I'm expecting a depot to go down momentarily as well. Small cut here into the SCV production in order to get that depot down and still allow the double marine production that you really want with these types of build orders. We do add that SCV in right now. We have a bit of a supply block, but that is okay. That is to be expected with builds like this, and that is okay. Okay, CC is coming up. Second gateway in the wall, battery here as well. Triple stalkers are out, so solid early game defense. Twilight Council is not researching anything whatsoever. This is more than just surprising. This is kind of weird. Why is Blink so late? I guess a bigger focus here on stalkers. A bigger focus on things that aren't tech, or that isn't tech. Robotics facility comes down here. I'm having a difficult time seeing this work, by the way. CC is going to go onto the low ground. Tank is going to come out behind this. There is a chance that he waits for the tank. Okay, now I'm liking it. So we have the 4 Marine plus Cyclone halfway across the map. We're going to get the tank plus Marines entering this medevac. Look at that. Pew, pew. Bang, bang. Boom, chicka, wow, wow. And we've got ourselves a little game. Cyclone making its way across the map is going to deny the scout here. Mana is in front of his natural, with 2 more stalkers being warped in. No SCVs here to help out. To me, this smells like a defense, though. Okay, medevac is being targeted. Down goes down, and the tank dies. Cyclone is going to get taken out here as well. I think 1 stalker ends up dying, but 2 factory units instantly going down is obviously a huge deal as these Marines die. And after 4 minutes and 30 seconds, we got our first GG. And our second GG is going to be in a creator versus hero game here on 10,000 feet. It's funny, usually when I'm doing these casts, I skip the first minute or so. But if I skip the first minute on these games, I might just cut half of my video away, which is also not quite what we want. So, creator versus hero in Protoss versus Protoss. I love that they picked orange and red as their colors to make it a little bit more difficult for us to follow what the hell's going on. However, given that this is a PvP, I am expecting full-on one-base play here. Maybe a gateway proxy, maybe a proxy robo as well. All of that is of course allowed. Could even go for a cannon rush. It's not very common, but just because something isn't common doesn't mean it never happens. So far, no scout out of either player. So, a little bit of background here for the for the new players here to PvP. If you haven't been watching StarCraft for 50 years straight, then maybe this confuses you. Like, oh, Harstem, what a late scout. What does that mean? Well, I'm glad you asked. Late scout often means, it indicates that we're going to go for a second gate proxy, or second pylon proxy, I should say. So the second pylon gets built on the map, and that second probe, or the second pylon will then have a structure next to it. A Stargate, a robotics facility, Twilight Council, a gateway, anything goes really. This time it's going to be a kind of like a defensive looking proxy, not necessarily a very aggressive one. Smells to me like it's going to be a Stargate or a fake proxy. So fake proxy is when you build your second pylon here. This probe that creator has, look at this guy. He's looking, he's looking, he's looking. He's smelling. No second pylon. That is so weird. Wait, creator's a Korean, doesn't have a German accent, but still. Very interesting. I wonder what he is doing. And then we already know there's going to be a pylon here. Creator's probably going to respond very, like either overly defensive, or at least that's the goal. And then boom, as hero, you just bing, bada bam, bada boom. You know, you just go for it. Adept, adept, into sentry, sentry, I think is what we're going to see here. I think this is a phenomenal build order. I really do like this. It's cute because you have some aggression. You... Ooh, the hell? Oh, late Stargate at home. Okay, now we're truly starting to cook. Oh my god. This is actually crazy. I freaking love this so much. So, I think the Stargate in the main base was not actually that brilliant of a call. But because this pylon has now been scouted, the creator thinks, okay, this was a fake proxy. There's not going to be any tech. This most likely is just going to be a fast nexus with some sentries. Just like I thought it was going to be adept, adept into sentry, sentry. However, in reality, it's going to be a Stargate. And if there's no battery here, if there are no stalkers in that main base, the game could just end. Wait, there's nothing here in the wall. Are you serious? Double adepts are now going to run in and could get a couple of kills here. And if they get more than just a couple of kills, this could, I don't want to say game over, but it could be extremely bad. Behind this, we have this Oracle that's also going to make its way across the map. 6 workers going down as W gets called. And after 3 minutes and 10 seconds, we've got our second GG. Alrighty, game number 3 here is going to be between Bunny and Rogue. As we have Bunny instantly moving onto the map with an SCV. He is not planning on making this into a long game. Rogue doesn't know this. Let's see how he scouts. So there's a couple of ways you can scout on this map. You have the risky scout, which is picking a base and going for it. And then you have the safe scout, which is actually going straight through the middle. I like this because this allows you to spot any potential weird moves like a proxy 2 Rex, proxy 3 Rex. This time it's going to be proxy 3 Rex. And I think it's just going to get scouted. Now, Hatch First will already have gone down. Second barracks is going to start, and there is of course the possibility that we shouldn't forget about that the third barracks is not with the other two, although that's not the case. Imagine you build it here, right? Overlord scouts is like, hey, I'm being 2 Rex. Freaking weird. Let's do a 2 Rex response. However, it's going to be a 3 Rex, so Rogue can actually just full send here on the 3 Rex response, which usually involves some type of roaches. Quick roach warren, can do double gas, Ravager counterattacks. The reason why this works against 3 Rex and why it doesn't work against 2 Rex is because... Oh my god, what the hell is he doing? He's got a drone pool? Is he serious? I mean, 2 Rex are gonna finish. Hell, the 3rd Rex might finish as well here. This is... Can you attack this? What is this? Oh my god. Marine comes out. He's going to get attacked here by these drones. Marine also is going to start running. That is 5 drones that aren't mining, chasing a Marine that cost 50 minerals. Okay, this barracks is going to finish up. Next Marine is about to pop out. What is the way we play this? Okay, this Marine is going to take some serious damage too. More SCVs being pulled off the line. Next Marine comes out. Here we go. 3 SCVs and a Marine versus... What is that? 5, 6 drones. Queen on the way, Lynx coming out as well. I think a Spine Crawler is actually the thing that ends this push. 2 Marines are now out. This is such a wild response. Didn't want to cancel the barracks, just wanted to kill Marines. We're going to get a 2-ling run by. Brilliant little play. It's going to force some repair here on the wall. Spine Crawler coming in as well. It's going to be in the mineral line as the first Queen pops. We're going to have defensively 8 Lings, 1 Queen, and offensively we only have 4 Marines and 3 SCVs. And the moment the Spine Crawler finishes, I am having a difficult time seeing this end well for our Terran player. Ooh, full SCV pool as well. So in that case, I think we might even want to cancel the Overlord here. It's not going to happen. We get a new Spinecrawler. You just want to get anything that you can defensively, right? That is just going to be your plan right now. Now we get the Spinecrawler moving a little bit further forward. Use your Queen plus links to push this away. You don't need to hold your natural, by the way. You just need to hold this ramp. If you can get this Spinecrawler onto the high ground, it's also fine, most likely. You're probably doing an okay job. Second Queen coming out soon. Transfuse will not be available as Spinecrawler is shooting at these Marines. This is some nice micro out of Bunny though. Look at these SCVs forming some type of wall here. So the Spine continues attacking SCVs and Marines. But yeah, this was a perfect defense. Super well done here by a Rogue. 2 Queens now out. Second Spine here too. And behind this is 3 workers against 19. That can only mean one thing. And that means that this game will be over relatively soon here as well. Spinecrawler moves forward. We have that one transfuse on this Queen. We have the links now coming in. GG gets called. And Rogue wins the 3rd game. Game 4, Bion versus Elazer on the White Rabbit. And although Elazer is not necessarily a cheeser, he is a very aggressive player. He is someone that he doesn't open up with a 12 pool. He doesn't go for the 13-12, road. Well, he does do road rushers actually, never mind. But a lot of the time it's 2 base all-ins, like 2.5 base all-ins with a lair in there and then a Queen drop and maybe some roaches, or maybe getting some 2 base Muta stuff as well, like pure Muta Ling. He has a lot of different openers. Ooh, Bion also with a sexy little start here. Look at this. He's gonna open up with a barracks in the wall and he's gonna start with a Marine. And that might give him the ability to snipe that first Overlord. So we're going to keep an eye on this guy. Eyes on the prize. Where's he going to go? So this is the goal, right? This is the end point here for this Overlord. This is a safe spot. And this is a safe spot. So 3 safe spots. Let's see where Bion's going to start moving. Second Marine comes out right now. Beautiful timing as well. He waited with sending that SCV further forward. Behind this, we're going to get a second barracks. That much is certain. Oh, Overlord taking a lot of damage here. This Marine needs to stay on this side of the road, by the way. Otherwise, you could end up not catching it, perhaps. It's going to be just fine. Overlord gets taken out. Links are on the way across the map. We have a single barracks with a reactor. And then the second and a third barracks. And a 4th barracks in the main base. So it's going to be a 4-Rex play here. Coming out of Bion. Oh, barely gets it. Still could have lowered the depot to cut off the path of the Ling otherwise. So it wouldn't have been the end of the world. So it's going to be a 4-Rex play out of Bion. Elazer is getting speed and he's going to rush into 2 base lair. Like I said, very common for Elazer to get that lair on 2 bases. Doesn't seem to worry a whole lot about anything else. Actually going to get 12 links as well in the mix right here. Gets a Baneling Nest. I am not entirely familiar with this. I thought it was going to be a fast lair, but it might just be a Baneling all-in. Does he know something that I don't? I mean, no, he doesn't. He actually knows way less than I do. Second depot now in the wall. So, I think this might be one of those situations where both players all in, and it's about who attacks first. And attacking first here is not a good thing. It's actually a bad thing, because you want to be the defender in this case. If Elazer uses 5 Banelings onto those depots, fantastic. If Bion is on the other side of the map trying to kill you, and you can go for like a Ling Bane surround, fantastic. You know, like, whoever decides to attack right now first is going to be in some trouble. And I'm afraid for Elazer that it's going to be him who will attack first, because he's already morphing the Banelings, 8 of them in total. We have a bunch of Marines on the high ground. Oh! Almost triggered those. If you walk here with those links, those Marines will start shooting, so Bion needs to be careful. Doesn't want to reveal that ahead of time. Does not want to reveal that ahead of time, because in that case, Elazer can just wait and do nothing. Wait and do nothing, wait and do nothing, wait and do nothing. Factory on the way right here now as well. These Marines are being tricked outside, but they're going back in. Can he lift this depot? Yes, he can. Barely. Barely in time. Oh, this is terrible here for Elazer. Elazer 28 workers, Bion at 35. Here we go. Stim not quite done yet. Can we get the target fire on these Banes? The answer is no. 10 SCVs end up falling here at a very high pace. More links on the way, but just a single Baneling remains right now. Combat shield finishing up, and Stim hasn't been used quite yet. Bion is now aware of the fact that this is extraordinarily all in, as Elazer is going to try once more, but I don't even think he can easily clear this wall. Like, Marines are very far forward. 1 goes down, 2 goes down, okay. All the Banelings go down, and so does the wall. But GG gets called, and Bion is going to win this game here on the White Rabbit. We'll have Elazer once more. This time his opponent, though, is going to be Showtime. So a Zerg versus Protoss on Old Republic. Instant scout coming out of the Protoss player. So Showtime wants to block a natural base. Let's see if that's going to work out here. Overlord comes in. Overlord goes out. In through the nose. Oh my god, this is a fast scout. We might see the new 15 hatch. This is the Yakov 15 hatch. Let's see if he'll go for it. Yep, there we go. The Yakov 15 hatch. And I hear you're thinking, what the hell is the Yakov 15 hatch? So there's a player called Young Yakov who has a really cool way of dealing with hatch blocks. You start the Overlord, like you always do, at 14 supply. And then with this Overlord, you check to see if a probe is coming in time to block you. If the probe is coming in time to block you, you cancel the Overlord and still get the hatchery down. In the process, you do lose a single larva, which is of course quite bad for Zerg. But your opponent sent the probe out super fast and didn't manage to do anything with it. On top of that, you also have the ease of use with your natural being in the natural, which is generally what most Zergs prefer. Makes it much easier to deal with adept harassment. So this is something, like I said, Young Yakov I think is the one that is credited with this move. Not all Zergs are necessarily convinced by it, but I think if you want a very consistent early game where you don't have to, have a third base or a natural base on your third, or even over here, yeah, this is a great way to deal with. And Elazer absolutely hates dealing with adept harass, so for him this is a blessing. Not even a blessing in disguise. This is just a straight up blessing. Yakov blessed him with this, absolutely. So what are we gonna get here? Double queens coming out right now. Gonna go into a little bit of gas mining. This is delayed gas to make up for the fact that you lose a larva as well. You want a bit more mineral income. So usually we have a bit more gas at this point already. I mean, speed is gonna be delayed compared to the standard, but don't forget, because there is such a fast scout coming out of the Protoss, this first adept is also later than we usually see it. So this is gonna start at 211. Well, if you have a slightly later scout, it might start at 208 or 207. If you don't scout at all, it might start at 203, because the scouts are really, really expensive. They delay a build order from the Protoss side of things by 6, 7, 8 seconds sometimes. So yeah, very nice, a little early game trick here out of Elazer. Of course, once again, credited to Young Yakov, the Eurozerg. Eurozergs still innovating, as they've always been. When it comes to opening theory, generally like the first 5 to 6 minutes over the past 10 years, European Zergs have been it. They've been the best at that. They're so good at just being more efficient, maximizing, and really squeezing water out of stone the way that no other race really has in the early game in my mind. Yeah, Zergs really up to something there. Of course, when it comes to being more aggressive in the mid game, I always tend to look to Korean Zergs. I really like the way, like how cutthroat they play, but for now we're just glazing the Euro Zergs for a bit, okay? They deserve it. Can I get a Roach Horn that's like semi-hidden? I don't quite understand what this is. This seems like world's worst all-in, if I'm being real honest. Like, this genuinely seems like hot crap. I don't even understand what the plan is. This cannot be a Queen Walk, because we have 2 Queens total. There's an Oracle out, a second Oracle on the way. Why is there a Roach Warren here? This legitimately makes no sense to me. I don't understand what this is. This build order feels just like trash. This build order feels extremely trashy. 7 roaches coming in. I guess the Overlords do have to stay home after losing the Adepts. That is frustrating. And maybe... What if he can force out some big pulsar beam usage here? Look at that! Minus 25 energy right now. We have 50 energy total. In order to activate the pulsar beam, you need to pay 25. There is a third Oracle on the way. That could be the saving grace here. Lynx are pulling this Oracle out of position. Now we're going to move into the third base once again, which will once more force this pulsar beam usage. Look at that! There's going to be 60 energy left. If he deactivates right now, he'll need to pay another 25 soon. Oh, what are we doing? What are we doing? Showtime! Getting outplayed, getting outmaneuvered here as these Lynx run away. And now Elazer says, knock, knock. And Showtime says, who's there? And Elazer says, it is me, the one who knocks. And I am not so sure if Showtime is going to be capable of holding it. I thought this was the worst build order in the world. But with the execution that Elazer went for, using the Pulsar Beam as a resource that can be depleted ahead of the fight, he is dealing some serious damage. Good split off as well. Makes it really hard to deal with because there's just not enough units. GG gets called. Elazer wins after 5 minutes. And for now, we're sticking with Elazer, as game number 6 is also going to give us Elazer. Once more, Elazer versus Bion. So it, not last game, but the game before. We go for a 15 hatch over here. The map is Mothership. Now, Mothership is a tricky one. You might be wondering, whoa, tricky? Why is that tricky? Well, because there's multiple locations. Okay, and multiple locations makes things tricky. It means that there's more than one spot where your opponent can be. Oh, wow. CC first versus Hatch first. The Battle of Greed. The Battle of Greed. Spawning pool in the main base. Beautiful stuff. This is not what I expected. I was expecting short games. This is shaping up to be a lot of things. But so far, not very short. Barracks coming down, gas gonna come down. There's 2 roads that he can walk, 2 paths that Bion can take. Well, there's multiple, but 2 realistic ones. Theoretically, you could also start digging a hole and lay down in it. It's not very effective. Number 1 is going to be, yeah, the two barracks. We've seen him play this very frequently in the past. The other path would have been a second gas and then barracks into factory. Is also something I've seen him do in the past. Because he is a player that has a, a very diverse palette. He can have different builds. Now we're going to get the second gas still. I don't quite know what the follow-up is going to be. It is, of course, hard to predict. I've seen Bion go 2 barracks types of plays and then follow it up with a tank push. Tanks, a bunch of marines, medevacs, and really committed into the 2 base. And that's allowed. I'm okay with that. If you do that. Okay, what do we have over here? Orbital command, orbital command. I'm expecting a reactor tech lab. The way that Terrans used to play this, by the way, is just barracks on the ramp, and then they skip the first marine even, and they just go for reactor tech lab. Straight away, no marine. However, here, I think Bion wants to deny some scouting, maybe. It's not going to work, because Elazer's moving across the map already. Probably anticipating exactly what this was going to be. Here's a single marine. It's going to actually help out quite a bit. Yeah, look at that. Just 2 barracks. So Elazer now knows what he's up against. Let's see what his response is going to be. His response is to go for a Roach Barn. He says, hey, it worked against Showtime. Let's see what we can do against Bion. He knows there's not going to be Banshees. He knows there's not going to be tanks in time. There's no triple racks. Probably not going to be a bunker either. Elazer already cutting workers at 26 drones. That is a very early worker cut. And you know what? I don't hate it. I don't. Actually, I kind of like it. He says, hey, I'm going to commit to an all-in. And if I'm going to commit to an all-in, I might as well commit early. Get a couple of links out. And in the moment my next inject pops, look at this. A well-planned out roach all-in. Beautiful. 7 roaches. Actually very similar to what we saw in the previous game. It looks similar. Of course, there's no third base here, but everything else, it has a similar smell. A familiar smell. Links now coming in. So you see the reactor on the factory. Still no bunker. This is definitely risky. Don't forget that even killing these depots is going to severely supply block Bion. So even just getting that much is going to be frustrating. With the Overlord now moving a little bit further forward, this is going to be a full wall. Now, Elazer doesn't want to show his hand too early. He just wants to show his hand when it's time. He might even morph a Ravager or 2. I wouldn't mind it. It wouldn't surprise me. Ooh, there we go. Depot lowered. Bion lays down the welcome mat, and Elazer takes a dump on it as he takes out 6 Marines instantly. Goes for the SCVs here as well. And I think this is just going to be it. I mean, there's Stim. There's also 7 roaches in your main base right now. What are you going to do? Build mines? Ridiculous. Preposterous. GG gets called. Elazer's going to win this game with another quick Roachling rush. Whoa, 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 Harstem. 4 players in one game. What is this? A 2v2? Yeah, this indeed is a 2v2. You guessed right. It's going to be Maru and Zaun versus Inexorable and Banan. Now, for the people who are not familiar with Inexorable, this is the man who sent me a bunker drop build to use against Protoss at the highest level, a Grandmaster League, 5.6, 5.7k MMR. He said, hey, look at this build, Harstem. I think you might like it. You as the cheesiest man alive. I said, well, I did like it, and I played it a bunch. Didn't win a whole lot, but I liked it. Banan, on the other hand, is a world-famous, world-renowned, a very famous cannon rusher. Infamous. Do the Koreans know about him, though? Okay, here we go. First pylon goes down underneath Maru's ramp. Ideally, I guess that's on the bottom of Zaun's ramp. So that's a little bit frustrating. Let's see. Can we full wall this? There's going to be one extra pylon in here. And then one more pylon here. Is he in time? He's not in time! A serious blunder here. Out of Banan. For such an experienced cannon rusher. A true disaster. A true disaster. And now these unbuildable plates are actually ruining his life. Can he build a cannon somewhere? Yes, we can. No, we can't. Cannon down here. Another cannon. Behind this, we're playing 3 racks, 4 racks, 2 racks. What is this? It's gonna be a Reaper. 3 racks Reaper. Okay. A Reaper rush plus cannon rush is going to be the name of the game. And now we could wall this in if Banan is paying attention. Don't forget, this is being played with a bit of ping. Probably not what Banan is used to. He is a ladder hero. This is played on the NA server. That is something we shouldn't forget. It might even have been on West, which is significantly more ping. And this is, of course, something everyone deals with, but the cannon rushers, they're often so mineral tight. It's just extremely important. Okay, high ground vision is going to be essential here. Cannon is down. Can this thing even attack anything? I don't think so. Okay, yeah, it can. Reapers are on the high ground right now. And it's just Marines versus Reaper, don't forget. Marine versus Reaper. Zealots are going to come out as well. At the same time, Zaun is going to send something across the map. We're going to go double Stalker behind all of this as well. Oh, this is... I am not loving the vibes here. I really am not. I don't hate the vibes. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a vibe hater, but I'm definitely not loving them either. Second gate comes down right now. So he pulls back with the Reapers. Bion's gonna get cleared. Hey, this is some very serious damage, isn't it? This is some very serious damage here. I don't think it's going to be enough. Marines are shooting down this gateway. Second gateway is on the way out. That first failure here, I don't know what happened exactly, but there had to be a full wall down here with a third pylon. And it didn't happen. And if it doesn't happen, if your first cannon is this delayed, life often starts to suck. Zaun now taking care of these Reapers. Marines are going to join in as the factory is finished up here too. And this game is coming to an end with Maru and Zaun as the victorious party here. GG is going to get called. That's going to be it for our first 2v2. Cure versus Sebastes, the player from the Czech Republic, against the South Korean mastermind. See what we got. Double gas opener, single gate at home. Looks like a Nexus before core to me, because this probe is going downstairs at a high pace. We get a depot to wall in this worker. I'm never quite sure about this. I guess it's worth it, but at the same time you're also... having to chase this probe for a little bit longer. Your Reaper's going to need to chase this probe. I guess it's not that bad. I guess it's all good. You're going to get a worker kill or at least force a recall. So I'd call this a win-win. Factory's going to go down here in the main base for Cure. And we don't have a wall. Something like a triple Reaper, double Hellion build with the Reapers entering the main base could be potentially painful. Probe is going to get recalled here. Reactor on the way. Could still be multi-Reaper. You can do multi-Reaper by getting a second unit a Reaper and a third unit a Reaper, but you can also do a Reactor and then Reaper. Both are completely viable, completely fine. Getting a faster second Reaper can help against quick adept type of stuff, and it allows you to deal some damage maybe with double Reaper, single Hellion as well. Can have a bit of, a bit more threat. Bit more threat. Okay, it's going to be a mine drop, except we don't have a starport going down yet. Okay, worker moves over. Here we go. Sentry comes in behind this. Gonna be a mine drop. Twilight Council behind. Kind of late, because it's Stalker Sentry. We have a battery. Hallucination is gonna come in, as well as a third gateway unit in the form of a Stalker. So this probe is gonna die. And the Reaper gets to escape. It's the best of both worlds, really. It's gonna have his cake and eat it too. Poof. No, no poof. No poof here today. Tech Lab's gonna come in. Could be for a couple of things. Tanks. Cyclones. Unlikely though. But most likely either tanks or like some type of Banshee stuff. This feels like a tank to me, if I'm being real honest. Yeah, we're gonna get a tank out here. Marine production continues as well. Yes, ooh, we're gonna move over. Okay, so it is gonna be Banshee. This mine drop is gonna make its way across the map. Let's see how Sebastes is gonna respond to that. He has a pre-split with units. Stalker in the main, Sentry in the main, Stalker in the natural. This thing is gonna go into the main base. Pros move over towards the right. Oh, everything moving out of position right now though. This is gonna hit at a pretty standard timing. And Sebastes is not ready at this timing. Behind us we're getting Cloak as well. And without a robotics facility, this could be potentially lethal. So we're gonna get a drop in. Double mine drop. Burrow, unburrow. One mine stays alive. And Medevac will survive. At least for now. Tries to get one of these mines. He's gonna get one mine out of here. And his blink isn't done yet. The Medevac also will get to escape. Very neat escape there, I would say. I think the problem that we can all see right in front of us here is this Banshee. No robotics facility, just a single battery, no battery in the main base, no battery at the third. That means both of these bases are going to be extremely vulnerable to the Banshee. Now the robotics facility comes in. At the same time, we also might even have a marine tank push here coming out. I'm not sure if it's actually going to go across the map, because we have the double barracks behind it as well. Mine once again runs into the main base, will burrow. What's he gonna get here? A couple of retargets, well done. Oh. Banshee's gonna hit the natural, and here we go. It's gonna cost Sebastes at least a couple of workers and an instant GG. Skewer's gonna win this game. Bit of a disappointing game, but luckily I have a banger for you. Banan versus Maru. So we're guaranteed to get a cannon rush. I always wondered how the cannon rushers beat Terran players, because if you can lose to a cannon rusher as a Terran player, I'm not saying there's something wrong with you, but it is by far the easiest race. Your workers have more HP than any other workers, which means that, you know, fights with the workers are going to be better in worker versus worker battles. Second, you get the fastest possible unit out when you're playing Terran. Like, getting a Marine out is really quick. And it's a unit that has range on top of that as well. Like, no other race can get a unit out this quick. Especially not one with range. Unless you're like playing like some weird early pool already. Or whatever. But yeah, like this is... It's just hard to... On top of that, you can also like repair your buildings in the wall. Which is another big deal. Bunkers can be built wherever. Okay, we're gonna get one cannon down, or one pylon on the high ground. This looks to me like it's going to be a triple pylon wall, by the way. Let's see if we can get it. I don't think so. Yeah, no shot. Yep, a little bit too slow there. Loses the worker. It's gonna go for a low ground pylon, or low ground cannon, sorry. What is this in range of, though? That is my question. What is this in range of? Is he going to finish this pylon as well? Yes, he is. Can he build another cannon up here then? No, not quite. Okay, he starts working on this thing. The gateway? Second cannon or what? No, it's not what we're doing here. I hope this depot is in range. Surely it is, right? Okay, depot's in range. Maybe you cannot put a pylon here. Okay, or a cannon. Second cannon now comes down. This thing's being repaired. Factory is gonna go down as well. It was really close, by the way, the triple pylon wall. It's really close to finishing up. I'm not sure if it would have worked, because against triple pylon walls you can always full pool with workers, and if you get a marine out,
it should never work, but sometimes people make, you know, they have bad responses. So now we're gonna have this pylon here, or this probe on the ramp. It's just gonna take too much damage. There you go. He dies. And that means that these Marines can start working on this cannon from the high ground. Can eventually move onto this pylon on the low ground as well. They have a lot of high ground firepower. Get a pylon in the back. Zealot's gonna help out here. At least provide some vision. Oh, there we go. Cybercore is gonna finish up soon, but look at the timing on that Cybercore, right? It's gonna be, what, 3 minutes? 3 minutes and 5 seconds. That's extraordinarily late. It actually is extraordinarily late. And it's gonna be a Stargate here. Another cannon as well. I'm expecting something. A Stalker, maybe? Maybe a Chrono Boost on that thing as well, but a tank's already on the way out. Second barracks. We're gonna get a Starport. It's gonna be Stargate versus Starport, but this tank is just gonna be really fast. It's basically a tank rush at this point. It was just a tank rush, because there was no reactor here. No CC whatsoever. Like, this was the fastest possible tank that you could get with the opener that he was doing. Very solid response out of Maru. He can be proud of this. He can be proud of this. Couple of SCVs going down here. But these cannons have something to do with that. This depot's actually gonna fall. Okay, second depot in some trouble as well. We have no healing with the batteries for some reason. I don't know why it was. Taking out that depot would have been such a huge deal. Void Ray now on the way out. It's going to be a Cyclone over here. This one battery is just... No, didn't seem to be healing for a bit. That cannon took so much damage, and the other cannon also took a lot of damage earlier. I feel like he might be manually using them rather than having them on automatic. But that actually cost him, you know, not killing that depot. I don't think it would have mattered for the outcome of this game, but still. GG's gonna get called. Maru wins against the Cannon Rush. And our final game of these beautiful cheeses. These 10 that I have handpicked. Then our final game is going to be between Gunner and Hero. Gunner is a European Protoss, and that's really where my knowledge stops. I think he's usually 5-5 on the ladder or so. And he has a build prepared. He's going to run into his opponent's natural. It's either going to be a proxy 2 gateway, a proxy 3 gateway, a proxy 2 gate forge, or there's going to be a proxy nexus. The last one being the least likely. What the hell is Hero doing? Hero also has just given up pretending like he's a normal person, no? No, this guy is... Like, there's no disguise anymore. He's not... It's crazy. It is crazy, alright. Triple gate comes out. Does get scouted instantly. I wonder if you build a forge here, by the way. I was thinking of this. Like, actually, if you don't have a wall, this is really hard to deal with. The way that you usually do it is by having a full wall. And then your full wall, you get some adepts out, or maybe a sentry, and you're cooking. I don't actually know what the response here would be. I think I would have built a forge. I think I would have built a forge and the cybercore. You get a cannon protecting everything. Like over here. Next pylon over here. And hope that you're good. Hero's doing something else though. He's going to chrono a single zealot out. Which is already out at this point. Then he's going to get a second zealot and a third zealot. Oh, and he's going to use the extra cash for batteries. Okay, now he gets an adept. Oh, he's going hard with the batteries. I thought he'd build them more inside of the mineral line, but he's really... He's putting them out there, you know? He is, he is. Okay, 2 zealots make their way in. Start smacking this 1 zealot around. I mean, these adepts are just going to finish up. Even the batteries are not going to be useful. This build does not seem like a very good one, if I'm being honest. I don't think... I don't think Hero is going to be laying awake at night thinking about Gunner's proxy 3 gate. Like, this is not very good. But it is going to be the end of this video. 10 games, And I don't know how long it was total, but I doubt it was more than 35 minutes. So it's going to be it for me today. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy this. Smash the like button and bye-bye.